waterfalls. No, no, no. Keep the faith, you'll have it all. Slow, slow, slow. Listen to the rivers and the streams that you used to.
Welcome to episode 31 of My Views Extended. I'm your host, Nadia, and welcome to those who are new and welcome back to return listeners. Aside from this podcast, you can learn more about me on my blog, nadiadanella.com, where I post on Mondays, Wordless Monday, which is through pictures, and my current obsession are flowers. So probably for a lot of the upcoming summer season, you're just going to see a lot of flowers and blossoms and things like that. Fridays is where I focus on various recipes, reviews, and DIYs. You can also keep up with me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and Twitter under Nadia Danella, and I will leave links to all social media sites in the show notes. And updates this week: appeal from one of the convicted murderers of Tim Bosma, which the trial that concluded this past June. One of the murderers, and I believe probably the other one will be following shortly. I just hope that this appeal gets rejected quickly and efficiently, and how dare he. I should have expected it, especially since both of the murderers put in pleas of not guilty in the first place. If they both feel that they did nothing wrong, and then through the course of it they try to blame each other, of course they would try this foolishness. So yeah, let's hope this appeal is rejected, and if the other one tries to appeal, that his appeal gets rejected and they live out the rest of their lives in prison where they belong. In the environment, burn bog fire in Delta, British Columbia, Canada. Apparently these peat fires are different from forest fires, for example, because the fire can burn in layers underneath unnoticed for days or even weeks. And peat is an accumulation of partially decayed vegetation or organic matter that is unique to natural areas called peatlands, bogs, or mires. This fire is causing concern because of the rate at which it's spreading. I know at one point on the weekend, it was at 50 hectares, and then in the same day it went to 100 hectares. So it is burning quite quickly. This fire is causing concern because of the rate at which it's spreading, like I just mentioned, but also because of the significance to the wildlife in the area. Not only is Burns Bog, which is 3,000 hectares, which is huge, it's bigger than, for at least this area in the country, bigger than Stanley Park. It's also a conservancy area, but it is also one of North America's largest peat bogs. It attracts migratory birds and is home to unique plants. So far, some businesses around the area have been forced to evacuate due to high winds and that are pushing the smoke in the direction of the business. So you basically can't see in front of a couple feet in front of you. And according to the environmental group that is there, Environment Canada, it's nothing serious, but it's just precautionary to evacuate the businesses so far. And that is from cbcnews.ca, and I'll also leave a link to the burnsbog.org website so you can learn more about the area and what it brings to the area, to the wildlife, and the habitat itself. In health news, Ontario to provide HPV vaccine for free to gay, bisexual men, all grade 7 students. The province of Ontario, Canada, will give, if wanted, the free vaccine for HPV to people aged 26 or younger who identify as gay, bisexual, or men who have sex with men, including some transgender people. And what is HPV? HPV is a viral infection that can spread from one person to another through anal, vaginal, or oral sex, or through close skin-to-skin touching during sexual activity. One of the big reasons for the change is the increased risk of penile and anal cancer. Health Minister Eric Hoskins says that HPV is blamed for an estimated 254 deaths and over 1,000 cases of cancer in Ontario each year. And those numbers are for only one province. And I think that this is a good thing. If you want to take the vaccine, go for it. If you're a parent and you want your child to have it, talk it over with your child and your doctor and go for it. I think it's better to be safe than sorry, especially since people are becoming sexually active at a younger age. Why should you risk cancer and possible damage to your fertility if that can be avoided? I know that there are some people that are against vaccines, or they think that it's going to encourage people to have sex younger, and also the big reason vaccines in general, that you're going to have a bad reaction, but most people will not have a bad reaction. And like with any other vaccine, there's a small percentage, but I say, why not? Go for it. And it's better to be safe than sorry. And I'll leave links to that article from the HuffingtonPost.ca and from the CDC.gov to learn more about HPV, STDs in general, etc. Canada Post strike. Negotiations are not going that well as of Monday, July 4th. As of July 2nd, if you had something in the mail, whether it's a letter or a package, whether you are receiving or sending, for now, it'll probably stay wherever it is in the system and for the time being. If negotiations continue to fail and the demands of the union are not met for the 50,000 union members, the strike could happen as soon as this Thursday. And some suggestions for any orders that you have pending. Obviously, the obvious one is wait to see if the strike is going to happen before ordering online, and or check with the company that you're ordering from to see if they have an alternative delivery option such as UPS or FedEx. I've seen so far that some companies have just changed their delivery, their companies that they choose to deliver with over the last couple of weeks previous last couple of weeks to avoid any disruptions to their customers, which is a great business practice in my opinion. Be proactive, because some people do not care about strikes. They want their package when they want it, and they're going to get very angry and irate if you as a company did not take precautions. My question to you is, will you be affected if Canada Post goes on strike? I know I will. I order a lot of products that I use every day online because simply they're cheaper. Even foods like nuts, seeds, flour, sugar. I shop locally for my fresh produce, meat, etc. But yeah, it's just cheaper for a lot of things to get online. So I will definitely be affected if they go on strike. And I'd have to agree, sometimes the service is pretty blah, but for the most part, I think they have pretty great service. My building still has apartment to apartment delivery, which I love. And plus, if I miss a delivery, which rarely happens because I work from home, the post office to pick it up is open on Saturdays, and it's only like a 10-minute walk away from, actually, then the other one is maybe a 15-minute walk away, which isn't that bad at all. And unless it's a super heavy item, then that's an issue. I know that's not the case for many people if you work away from home, or if you live in a remote area, or just your local pickup is. Sometimes I've heard people saying that they have to drive an hour to get a package, or the depot that they go to pick it up with is closed on the weekends. You probably don't care if it goes on strike because, Canada Post is all but useless to you. But for those of us who do use it, I hope that, not only for my personal sake, but so people can get back to work and, carry on with their full-time jobs. And I hope that they, within reason, get the demands that they're asking for, in regards to hours, pension, wage, increased wages, etc. And that's from globalnews.com, and I'll leave that link in the show notes. What I'm grateful for this past week. I'm grateful that I'm finally getting my cooking channel started on YouTube. You can keep up with that and the progress of my cooking channel on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook under NadiaDanella.com and under Nadia Danella and at NadiaDanella.com for updates on, when the first video will be posted this week, barring any technical difficulties. I don't know what time this week, between now and Saturday this week, the first video will be up. And I'm mentioning it here on purpose, so I have to follow through. Accountability is a good thing. The cooking channel will have, recipes, meat dishes, vegetable dishes, vegetarian, vegan, not desserts, and etc. I grew up eating foods from around the world, so it's not going to be one type of cuisine. It's basically what I like and what family members have liked in the past, probably some guest recipes. Yeah. And the influence also is because I had my mom and my stepdad were both professional chefs and bakers, so these influences will also be reflected in this YouTube channel. So I'm really excited about it. I'm nervous, and that's probably why things are taking a bit longer, aside from, designing a logo and channel trailer, which I'm still working on, and editing and using new software. The software that was is a huge learning curve. So all that stuff, it's just learning curves, and that's taking time. But I'm very much a perfectionist, and it's not going to be perfect, because if it's perfect, it will never come out. You have something, you envision it in your head of what you hope it's going to be, and because you don't have your, I guess your 10,000 hours, you're not as good as it is in your head. But I know that will come with time, and the videos are not going to be perfect. The editing is not going to be perfect. The lighting is not going to be perfect, but it will get better as time goes on. And I'm excited for this new journey. It's one of those things that I've wanted to do like with the podcast, I've wanted to do for several years now. And I just had to bite the bullet, and I didn't want to, with many, many, many things in life, I didn't want to be 75 years old and think, why didn't I give that a try? Whether it succeeds or fails, I hope it succeeds, but whether it succeeds or fails, I have to try. And I think that everybody should try. We're not going to succeed at everything we do. I've failed at so many things in my life, but yeah, you have to try. Life is about trying things and experiencing things, and if it doesn't work, then you move on and you try something else, or you keep trying to perfect what you're already doing. That is it. Thank you for tuning into episode 31 of My Views Extended. I would love to hear feedback and comments of what you think of this podcast and the topics that I've discussed this week. You can listen to My Views Extended at nadiadanelle.com and YouTube, where you can subscribe, like, rate, and or leave a comment, and where closed captioning is now available. I will leave links in the show notes for all platforms, and as more listening platforms are added or changed, I will let you know. Till next time, this is Nadia.